I'm an innocent man, Your Honor, and I have always been an innocent man, Your Honor.
After 17 years in prison and 27 years fighting to clear his name, John Bunn broke down into tears and held hands with Judge Shondia Simpson when he was finally exonerated in 2018.
Y'all convicted and had a wrong man in prison, and now y'all still have somebody that's on the loose that's right now that killed someone, and that families out there running free, and I didn't deserve any of that stuff.
Court grants defendant's motion.
Anthony Broadwater was arrested by Syracuse police in 1981 and charged with raping Alice Sebold, who is now the famous author of The Lovely Bones. Alice Sebold was sexually assaulted at the age of 18, and 5 months later, when she saw the 20-year-old Broadwater on the street, she was certain he was the person who raped her. A few weeks later, in a police lineup, she picked another guy and couldn't tell the difference between him and Broadwater, but prosecutors pushed to indict Broadwater anyway. He was wrongly convicted and served 16 years in prison until Timothy Mucciante, a movie producer who was being fired from a film adaptation of Alice Sebold's memoir, became suspicious of the case and hired a private investigator. He stirred up an investigation that eventually brought Broadwater's case back into court. Broadwater was finally exonerated in 2021. Sebold said in a statement, "I want to say that I am truly sorry to Anthony Broadwater, and I deeply regret what you have been through." Daniel Villegas is a citizen of Texas who was falsely convicted for the murder of 2 teenagers who were returning to their home after a party. This is Daniel's reaction when the jury found him not guilty of murder, after he had spent 25 years behind bars.
Verdict Form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
I'm a good person. Just don't know what I went through. And I'm still going through it, man.
A 17-year-old girl was raped when she was walking home from her job at McDonald's in New Jersey in 1988. Dion Harrell was living across the street from that McDonald's, and 3 days later, when she saw him in the McDonald's parking lot, she thought he was the attacker. Dion was 22 years old at the time and couldn't afford an attorney. He was charged with second-degree sexual assault. He served 4 years in prison and spent more than 2 decades on a sex offender registry. He struggled to find jobs and housing and couldn't even be around his own children without supervision. When he came to a barbecue, other people would say, "Watch out for the kids, he's here." Dion continued fighting to clear his name after he was released from prison with the help of Innocence Project, but New Jersey didn't allow DNA testing for defendants if they weren't currently in jail. It wasn't until 2015 when the New Jersey changed the law. Dion's DNA was tested and his conviction was vacated in 2016. Sadly, he died suddenly shortly after winning decades-long fight to clear his name.